Hello again, amigo. We're back with day 25 of the boot camp, and today we're going to be talking about a very important topic to improve the quality of your sex life: lubrication. Oh, yeah, baby. But first, how are you doing with your kegels? I know that life is full and it's easy to forget to do them or simply wimp out, but they're super important for your health, for your erection quality, and your ejaculation control. And you can do them anytime that you don't need to focus on something else. The easiest when you have to go to the bathroom or take a shower, but boring meetings or classes are a great time to remember to do them. Just a reminder to keep on doing them for your own sake. Okay, but now on to the fun stuff. Most people, my wife included, think that there's not much to know about lubes. You just pick something slippery and it helps, right? Wrong. Using the wrong thing can cause lots of problems, including infections and hindering pregnancy, which is a concern if you want to conceive a child. So get ready, and we're going to do a power course on lubes to supercharge your understanding so that you can make your sex life even better than ever. First of all, let me say it straight. The single best lube for sex is a woman's natural lubrication. As a general rule, if you aren't getting her hot enough to be wet enough to have intercourse with you, then she isn't ready for intercourse. It's nature's elegant feedback mechanism, and it'll guide you to become a better lover. If she isn't dripping wet and craving you to fill her, then don't enter her yet. Focus on heating her up to the boiling point where she can't take it any longer and just needs to have you inside of her already. It's the key to being a killer lover, and it turns her into an insatiable sex goddess. That said, there's plenty of situations still where this advice doesn't apply at all, like if the guy's cock is huge and uncomfortable for the woman, or if you're going to have anal sex, or if she's menopausal or perimenopausal, or has some anatomical or physiological issue that prevents her from producing sufficient lubrication regardless of her level of arousal, or if you want to have great sex in the shower or in the water or the hot tub where her natural lubrication gets washed away. So for all those situations, and to share with you the dangers and dangerous implications of various common lubes, let's get to it. Now, there's natural lubes, synthetic lubes, petrol-based lubes, oil-based, water-based, and silicone-based, and then there's all kinds of gimmick lubes to increase sensation through heat or through cooling or reduce sensation by numbing, and there's flavored lubes and scented lubes and even glow-in-the-dark lubes. Okay, that said, the vagina will absorb almost anything you put into it into her bloodstream. So it's super important not to put anything unhealthy or bad up there. First, let's cover the basics of all the manufactured lubes. You see, the natural pH level of the vagina is slightly acidic, and manufactured personal lubes are designed to be acidic to mimic this. This is bad if you're trying to conceive a child, as the lube will enhance the overall acidity of the vagina and make it even harder to get pregnant. So for conception, of course, it's best to use just the woman's natural lubrication. But if you must have an auxiliary lube, then one like Yes Baby, which mimics the pH balance and osmolarity of semen, is the best choice during ovulation. Now, the most common and well-known of all lubes are water-based lubes, like Astroglide or KY. These are easy to clean up with soap and water and are really, really slippery initially. They're easy to find and work with all types of condoms. Now, the downside, however, is that they get super sticky and gluey after a little while, which is the opposite of what you want. And some women can get a yeast infection or allergic reactions to the sugar-based compounds glycerin and glycol and the parabens that make these lubes slippery. Now, water-based lubes also don't work well in the shower because they just dissolve away with water. So if you want super comfy anal sex in the hot tub, you need a different kind of lube, like silicone-based lubes, like Eros Body Glide and Gun Oil. Now, these lubes have fantastic texture and staying power, and they don't get sticky like water-based lubes. However, they can't be used with silicone dildos or any other silicone sex toys because the silicone lube bonds with the silicone sex toy and creates kind of like a sandpaper, disgusting texture. It basically destroys it, makes it impossible to clean. Now, many menopausal and perimenopausal women like the silicone lubrication feeling so much that they'll just squirt a little bit up inside their vaginas once in a while to give a little relief from the chronic dryness. It feels that good. Now, when silicone lubes dry up, eventually they just leave a silky smooth texture. It's really lovely. Now, these don't break down in water, and they're great for use in the shower, bath, swimming pool, ocean, hot tub, etc. They're more costly than water-based lubes, and you might have to go to a sex shop or a pharmacy to find them rather than Walmart or Walgreens, but most people find they're 100 times more enjoyable than water-based lubes. But again, you can't use them with silicone sex toys. Okay, now let's talk about oils. Oils and oil-based lubes break down latex condoms. Got that? They break down latex condoms. That leads to reduced protection against pregnancy and sexually transmitted infections and diseases. So let me be clear. Oils and oil-based lubes should not be used with latex condoms. Now, lambskin condoms, polyurethane condoms, and nitrile condoms are fine, but they're harder to find. You can always order stuff like that online, but they're hard to get at like Walmart. Now, oils and oil-based lubes also can cause irritation, inflammation, infections, such as zits inside the vagina. Ouch! Urinary tract infections, anal infections, candida, yeast infections, and bacterial vaginosis. The list is long. And as such, they also increase your risk of STI transmission, not to mention the fact that they stain sheets and are hard to clean. Overall, they're just not recommended. Now, the one exception based on anecdotal evidence from a lot of people is that 100% organic cold-pressed olive oil or coconut oil used in moderation, that means just the least amount necessary to give sufficient lubrication, is okay. Don't slobber it on. Still, it is an oil, and it will clog pores, and that can lead to any of the health problems that I just mentioned. Now, petroleum-based oils such as baby oil, Vaseline, mineral oil, and the absolute worst, Crisco, are known to contain chemicals that cause problems with regular body functions. And they actually decrease the natural lubrication because they suck water out of the skin that they touch. Now, vegetable oils like Crisco, soybean oil, sunflower oil, corn oil, etc. are also dangerous because the body absorbs all the unhealthy chemicals and components in the oils that are left over from their manufacturing processes, including various industrial chemicals and highly toxic solvents that can remain in trace amounts, not to mention the trans fats and saturated fats that are super cloggy for your arteries. Now, and just like any of the other oils that I mentioned, animal fat-based oils like butter and lard are just the same and can lead to many health problems down there. And that's a place that you want to keep healthy and vibrant. Now, regarding pregnancy and birth control, you can get spermicidal lubricants, but they're wrought with problems, and many people, men and women included, will report uncomfortable or painful burning sensations after using them, for hours even. They're not nearly as effective as a condom, and they're not nearly as comfortable as sex without a condom when the woman is really wet with arousal. It's just a bad compromise. Now, understand that the vagina is a miraculous, complex balance of yeast and bacteria that are required to be in healthy harmony to function properly and to be delicious and smell fantastic during oral sex. Now, industrial products made by for-profit corporations are never capable of mimicking the natural innate intelligences of the body. As such, oils and oil-based lubes, spermicidal lubricants, douches, fruits and vegetables, rubber and plastic dildos and sex toys, and anything that's been used in anal sex should never be placed in the vagina, ever. At the very least, they throw the natural balance of immunity out of whack, but at worst, they can cause full-blown infections, bad tastes, and odors. Yuck. You want to keep the vagina healthy and happy and fully functioning, so care for it well by learning this information and using it to protect its health for both your pleasure and enjoyment. Now, women appreciate men caring for their sexual health and supporting them in their sexual care. So please use the right lube for the right job, which most of the time is just making sure that she's so hot that she's dripping wet and craving you before you put anything inside of her. Follow that rule, and you will 10 times the hotness of your sex life. And when you need some lube assistance, choose the right lube for the circumstances to support your and her sexual health and well-being. You can buy little sample packs that are about the size of a single condom to carry in your wallet or pocket and to try out different brands of lube. I highly recommend you go buy a bunch at your local sex shop and then try them out with your partner and see which you like best and which feels best to your body. And as always, if you have any questions, please let me know. And if you know anybody that could benefit from this information, please share this with them. And until tomorrow, keep doing your kegels. Hasta mañana.